What?
Okay, that's really good spawn.
How did I go sideways from him? Like,
Yeah, that was a bug.
hello everybody, welcome to a new video. My name is MEDIVH, and I hope you're doing alright today. I want to let you know that only about 13% of you are all subscribed to my channel, and I would really appreciate it if you could go ahead and click that sub button. It really goes a long way on me being able to build the channel up, and I really hope you enjoyed the video, so let's get into it. So one of the reasons why MEDIVH is being such a hard boss for a lot of people to heal through is because there is a lot of damage that's being taken that should never actually happen. And the reason for that is because if you are good enough, you can keep on top of the interrupts and you can avoid any Inferno Bolts and any Frostbites from ever happening onto your group and only having the piercing missiles going onto the tank. Now this is also a bit of a comp dependent sort of thing, because if you have more melee you will have more short kicks. If you have a lot of range, that will probably be harder to do. But if you are able to do so, you can see we took no damage from the Inferno Bolts, and that really goes a long way on me not having to use any charges of anything, Vanquisher's Hammer or anything else, before actual damage happens. Now when you get to full mana, MEDIVH will cast one of his 3 empowered mechanics, and as you can see here, the mirror images are probably the hardest one to deal with. You need everything here, your diva at the beginning, because that's when the most damage is happening, when all the birds are up. You want to be getting on top of a bird as soon as possible. Ideally, be there before the birds spawn. When you see the mechanics being cast, be on top of the first bird, so you can already be generating holy power. And you should also be using your personal here, ideally after the Devo is over, just so you can stagger them. And you will basically burn through everything you have during this mechanic more often than not. Wings for sure, and most likely both your charges of Vanquisher's Hammer. So you should just be looking at MEDIVH's mana and be ready just in case that is the next empower mechanic that's going to be cast. You don't want to be caught off guard and have nothing ready for that. Now once the mechanic has happened, it will go back to phase 1 and more of the same. Here we do have one Inferno Bolt going off, and it's a 20, and we have a Warlock almost dying there. They didn't have an ending resolve, but as you can see, it is not sustainable to have these mechanics going off constantly. So you can see the interrupt tracker, it's showing how we're trying to stagger these interrupts as best as we can. If you're lucky enough and you're doing a kind of a low-key, the boss will only give you 2 empowered mechanics. He will die before the 3rd one, so you could even skip the mirror images. And if you get the frost patch in the ground, like you can see here, you take no damage from it so long as you keep moving. And as a Holy Paladin, that is never a problem. So you just keep on sidestepping non-stop, staying on melee range, and that is completely fine. Now moving on to the Flame Breath. Flame Breath has this issue. Boop, you're dead. Now why that happens is because if you are next to somebody that has a Flame Breath as well, you will instantly pop the Flame Breath. And you do not want that to ever happen. So what you do about that is you need to spread out, basically. You need to be on melee as a Holy Paladin. You can never be caught outside of melee when Flame Breath is being cast. And because if that happens, you will never be able to get on melee range of the boss, and therefore you will not be able to generate holy power, and that is pretty much a death sentence. Now if you do have the Flame Breath go through and you do not wipe instantly, the way you deal with this is by having sacrifice ready, Blessing of Sacrifice, and just having ways of mitigating the damage these people are taking with personals, immunities, in this case sack. Devotion aura would likely not be up, and just personally being ready with some fat heals and being in melee. If you're not in melee, you've already lost, as I already said, but it's going to be a massive amount of damage into a few targets, and therefore it's going to be really hard for you to deal with. You can spare switching a beacon onto one of the persons that gets the Flame Breath. Maybe that helps, maybe you can switch both, but that's going to take a couple GCDs. By that time, they might be dead already. Having Lay on Hands, of course, would be ideal, but you can never guarantee having those things because you might just have used them before in some other dangerous scenario, like the mirror images. So the best way of dealing with it is just have Blessing of Sacrifice ready, have your personal ready if you can, and just have Wings ready waiting for it, as well as a charge or 2 of Vanquisher's Hammer. It is really the only kind of thing that can wipe you here. Once you are interrupting the Inferno Bolts and the Frostbites properly, as we already mentioned, the fight becomes just a matter of not dying to the empowered mechanics, those being mirror images and Flame Breath. The frostbite thing on the ground, the frost patches don't really kill you ever. So yep, it is really simple once you look at it that way. If you're taking extra damage from the interrupts not happening, therefore you should definitely say, okay, guys, please do this, otherwise I'm falling behind already even before the mechanics happen. And that's when you gotta realize it's not just your fault that people are dying. The DPS is gonna help you out here. You gotta be ready for those mechanics. But yeah, if they take those resources away from you before the mechanics even happen because they are misplaying, which happens all the time in pugs, then you can't really be blamed for it. But yeah, this is not a matter of switching blames. It's a matter of knowing how to be ready for it and knowing what you should be keeping in mind. And I hope you find this video exactly useful for that reason. So yeah, this is all gonna be it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it useful. Please drop a like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll be seeing you on the next one. Bye-bye.